Hello and welcome to In Conversation. We're coming to you from Washington, D.C. I'm Dinesh Verma, filling in for Ramesh, who's off this week.
And I'm Sonal Verma. Thank you for having us today.
Well, Sonal, as usual, when we're on the show together, immigration continues to be a hotbed issue. So with everything going on in Arizona, why don't we address that topic first?
Right. Well, a law has been passed by the state which makes it easy for the police to detain someone, ask them for their immigration status if they have any reasonable suspicion. Now, the problem is the reasonable suspicion. How do we define reasonable suspicion, and what kind of training are these police officers going to have in determining what reasonable suspicion is? The reason that everyone's up in arms is that this smacks of some sort of civil rights violation, because reasonable suspicion to you may be something different to someone else. Is reasonable suspicion simply walking while brown? We don't know. And given the history with Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Arizona in the past, and the flagrant disregard for civil rights that he has shown, and he continues to be in the position of sheriff out there, everyone's a little worried about how this is going to happen. I mean, anyone, regardless of their immigration status, can be stopped and can be asked to see papers. Now, I don't know about everyone else out there. I'm a United States citizen. I don't go around carrying my birth certificate or my passport. I can exist and I can be here and I'm fine. But now the police officers and the law enforcement personnel in Arizona will have the opportunity to ask these questions.
Congress has not enacted any type of comprehensive immigration reform or addressed the immigration issue at all. So with that happening, a lot of these states feel almost empowered to go out there and pass these laws. And what's unique about Arizona, what I heard, was that they actually enlisted the help of a law professor, to help draft this measure. They're aiming at checking the immigration status of anyone who is arrested. Is that correct? Is that a correct understanding?
That's actually not the understanding I have. I think that's what the intention is. But a law enforcement official does not have to necessarily arrest someone and thereafter ask that question. If they have a reasonable suspicion of someone who may be an illegal immigrant, and that's the word used in the law, then they can stop that person and ask about their status. And that's the problem. I mean, it's not a simple 237G situation like we have here in Prince William County, where it's a secondary offense type of issue, where if you're being stopped at a traffic stop, they're going to ask you also about your immigration issue. Here it goes a step further than that. It's one step removed from that, in that reasonable suspicion issue comes up, and therein lies the problem.
I see. Well, it sounds like an issue that's ultimately going to end up in the courts then.
I think it is.
There's going to be some constitutional challenges to the scope of the law and what it allows and the type of discretion you're giving to the local officials there. But if you talk to the people in Prince William County, I know the Board of Supervisors, I saw someone from the Board of Supervisors on TV the other day talking about how crime has dipped dramatically in Prince William County since they enacted the immigration measure there. However, what other people are saying is it simply forced the crime underground, because what you have are these communities of immigrants in those areas that are reluctant to go to the police and report crimes because they fear that they're going to be subject to an immigration check if they do that. So, you've almost created this whole area of underground crime, and created a very dangerous situation for the immigrants in those communities.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Crime statistics have gone down. The statistics for the Commission of Crime have gone down in Prince William County. What we don't know is how many of those crimes that were being monitored previously were committed by people who were not documented. We don't know that. Not only have the crime statistics gone down, property values have gone down, retail sales have gone down. Things like that have gone down in Prince William County as well. And they're facing an economic hardship with the downturn that everyone else is facing, but they're facing an extremely tougher hardship now because a huge population has just up and left. But I wanted to touch upon what you mentioned previously, Dinesh, the fact this is the one place where people who are anti-immigration and people who are pro-immigration are meeting in mind. The one place where we all agree is Congress, because of its inaction, has allowed this to happen in the country, where each municipality is trying to seek its own recourse, its own way of dealing with a very huge problem in piecemeal. And each municipality is doing it in their own way, and pretty soon, if we allow this to continue, if Congress does not act soon, you're going to have jurisdiction by jurisdiction different laws. And that is going to be, just the maintenance of something like that is going to be a huge challenge, even on the federal level. I implore everyone to write to their congressmen, write to your senators. Wherever you stand on the immigration debate, there needs to be some reform. There needs to be some fix. Of course, you know where I stand on the debate, and I know I've never made it, I've never hidden my intention about comprehensive immigration reform. We have another opportunity this year to see if that can go through. It needs support. Write to your elected officials and see what we can get done. Well, continuing the topic of immigration, as you know, it's my favorite subject. There's a lot of talk out there about how immigration to the United States is somehow forcing a decline of our U.S. civilization.